Good evening, my beautiful collective. Welcome to Nesia Star Tarot. So, I just wanted to start out with a couple of messages that I have channeled from last year. And basically, the first message is you must be able to release. Let go of the old to receive the new. Excuse me. So people aren't always on your frequency. Or excuse me. But that is true as well. But people that aren't on your frequency won't be able to stay around you for very long. Your spirit will start to irritate their demons. And that's a message in itself right there. We're all, like I explained in my last videos, we're all changing our frequency. The earth in general is changing its frequency. So you'll start to notice that your relationships at this time are changing. Some of them are coming to an end. Some of them, it's one way or the other. You're either developing into something different, something more, or it's ending. I know in my personal pulls, I've been getting Judgment, Lovers, Tower, and the World. And they have the major 5. I had that in another note. I'll have to link it in another video. But unless I can find it real quickly. Yep, found it. The big 5. So that's the Tower, the World, Judgment, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Death card. So that just basically illustrates that there's going to be major changes taking place. And so I know even in my own personal pulls, I have been getting those cards as well. And we're going into 2021, which adds up to 5. So this is going to be a time of major change. Another message that I have from about a year ago is the person you were hung up on was a stranger to you at one point. So you will meet someone else and get to know them again. I'm not sure who needs to hear that message, but protect your energy and yourself. You need to let go and surrender. So I'm going to spend more time in different videos going over what surrendering means and why it's important to let go. And I mean, even if you look at it at its most basic terms, in order to receive, you have to make room. Like, it's like trying to add more shoe boxes into a packed closet. Like, it's just not going to fit. You have to get rid of the old in order to be able to make space for something new, to grow, for progression, you know? So, that was just from my own journal. And then I also wanted to share a message from the Llewell's Witch's Guidebook, or Date Book. It has little messages in it too, so that's why I call it a guidebook. But you can read the back and get more information on it as I read the message here. But we have come full circle as the year is embraced both at the beginning and at its end with the full moon in Cancer. We revisit the themes of sacred feminine, female issues, nurturing, emotional well-being, family, and home. It is a good time to work magic that honors the goddess in her many aspects, as the moon is in her own sign, lunar magic. Especially scrying with water can be especially illuminating. Trust your instincts and your intuition. Your emotions can intensify when the moon is in full Cancer. When the moon is full in Cancer, excuse me. We are pulled by the undercurrents of memory and the past and may feel nostalgic, sentimental, or melancholy, yearning for this sense of belonging that we can't quite put our fingers on. We may feel an overwhelming desire to return home. This is a good time to gather with family of the heart, those whom you feel a sense of emotional safety. So, as I've already said, I'm just trying to read over the goddesses that are a part of this time as well. So basically, from that message, we are definitely in a state of healing, of nurturing oneself, moving forward, breaking bonds of past relationships, and I mean, it doesn't even have to be like love relationships. It could be like toxic relationships and families. It could be, you know, finally drawing a line with your employment or employer, or even coworkers that there may be issues with. So coming to terms where it's either like we're going to work things out or we're going to, you know, go our separate ways. But finding, you know, that ground that you're going to stand on and standing in it, you know. So I have been guided to use to pull from the Starseed Tarot deck that I have. I'm going to start out with the first messages from there. So I actually don't even know why I picked up this deck, but I feel the need to touch it, I guess. And then I wanted to clarify with the tarot. And then I wanted to try this deck. It's Making Magic. I feel like right now we're definitely with the full moon being in Cancer once again. We're starting how we finished last year. But hopefully, like, the thing about karma, too, is you're supposed to learn a lesson. And it's hard to say a lesson because it's really, your karma is recognizing what you did to someone else. It's seeing your reflection, and they're just a mirror for you. So it's seeing how your soul is reacting to the harm that you have caused someone else. So basically, it's teaching you the lesson on how to treat others, how to treat yourself, how to be loving, how to be nurturing. I don't know why I feel the need to share that, but basically what I'm getting at is karma isn't just about you do something and something happens to you, whether it be good or bad. Karma's about more so like, you didn't learn this way from me trying to teach you this way. So now I got to try another method to show you what you're doing, because it's all about the choices you make. Everything comes down to a decision. I mean, whether it be good or bad, yes or no, right or wrong, it's still your choice. It's your decision. And I mean, until we get into the conversation of like the multiverse and all of that, where, hey, we can talk about the different possibilities of outcomes and everything. Your soul's lesson is to learn the mistakes that you're making and fix them. That's how you elevate. That's how you transcend. That's how you transform, is to recognize what you're doing out here. And I know that's like such a hard place to stand in, especially if you don't even understand what you're doing. But that's why you need to take time and recognizing yourself and learning yourself. And the universe will teach you one way or the other. Like, it's either going to be a choice, a learned choice, or it's going to be a push. And I mean, we've all had to be pushed, you know, off the ledge before. So you're not alone. All right. At the bottom of the deck, though, we have the Void. I don't know if you can see that card. It actually kind of looks like the moon does tonight. It's December 30th, 2020. And this will be a timeless reading for the collective, but I think that's the starry night I wish I was able to see. So the answer to some of your questions may be stop, embrace winter, great cosmic womb. So speaking of feminine energy, the moon, again, the great cosmic womb, we're in a state of nurturing the earth, ourself, honoring the moon, honoring our loved ones, our ancestors, those that came before us, honoring ourselves and doing all of that. So embracing winter is all about embracing the fact that life comes in cycles. With winter comes death. With death comes spring, life. You know, it's all about the cycle. And you honor it. Or find your way to honor it, you know? I feel like that's what, at some point, holidays were supposed to be about. That's like what people were doing, and it kind of transformed into, I mean, each person has their own rituals or religions or whatever they decide to do to honor their beliefs. But that's really what I feel like the meaning initially was for holidays and for the celebration and people coming together, you know, to honor life. So, breaking down the cards that we have, the first card out is Rock Bottom, Surrender to the Alchemy of Life. The next card out is Surrender to the Sweetness, Venus Energy, Pleasure, joy, make love to life. That's a beautiful card. So Venus energy is a lot of Taurus and Libra energy. Those are the ruling signs, or those signs are ruled by that planet, Venus. I also get a lot of Gemini energy in there as well. All right, the next card we have out is the Great Severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So speak about release, right? And then under the deck, we have the Void. So it's like all that anger was basically leading to the Void. But there's love that needed to be learned in the process. All right, next card out is the Weight of the World. And it says, boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. I just love the synchronicity in the messages too, because it's like my journal was exactly what these cards are saying right now. And it's beautiful. Like you really can't make this stuff up. Last card out is Empathic Starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. So that's an interesting card to pull, because I really want to go into really quickly what an empath is, or what the meaning of, and it's the mirror too. Do you see the mirror? So that's what I was saying earlier too, about karma and everything being a reflection, being your soul's reflection. And that's what you find in your soulmate or your twin flame, if you believe in that sort of thing. But basically any sort of partner that you connect with, they're basically a reflection of you. But just any relationship that you have, whether it be your coworker, your boss, your parents, your children, any relationship you have is a reflection of you. And it's either a reflection of your inner child, the shadow, or like the darker aspects of yourself that you need to work on, or else it's a reflection of the light side of you, the love, the caring, the nurturing natures that everybody has. So, getting back to this empathic card, what I gather from this, and especially getting the fact that you have the Mars energy and the Void, you're taking on energy that is not yours. And that's what needs to be let go of. That's what you need to surrender. And underneath the Void is you are not alone. So it says isolation, physical connection, community. The vibe that I'm getting from this reading is because of the fact that you need to let go of someone or something specifically, and only you know what that is, whether it even be like a way of thinking. Something needs to change in order to transform, to allow something new to come into its place, because it's like it's served its purpose. And even with karma, once you learn the lesson, you shouldn't have to learn that lesson again, because you're not going back. You've learned, you went through the pain, the struggle, and sometimes it is really, really tough to learn these lessons, and they have to be, because otherwise, would you have learned? I know me personally, like, I'm so strong-headed. There is like nothing that you can tell, like, there's nothing you can tell me. I'm stuck in my ways until I learn that I'm wrong. And then once that happens, the universe changes. Like, I literally have epiphanies that are just like, I don't know, the stars aligning in my head. I don't know what it is for everyone else, but getting back to the cards, basically, and getting back to even like the very first card out was hitting the rock bottom. Like, you have to learn what your rock bottom is. You have to learn your boundaries. You have to learn what it is that you're gonna accept, what you're not gonna accept, and who you are and what you stand for. And for everybody, that may be different. I'm not here to tell you what any of those things are for you. I'm here to suggest that you figure it out for yourself. And maybe that's what this energy that we're going through is about. So, I mean, it's like, I could sense that there may be confusion. And it's funny too, my energy just switched up a lot, because the next card out is love. So, and I was saying like Venus energy and all of that. So it is really hard to surrender someone that you cared so much about. But going back to my journal, remember, at one point, they were a stranger too. and you got to know them. You got to spend the time surrendering to the relationship, letting down your boundaries, and growing, you know, learning who you are and what it is that you want. Or at least that's, you know, what we come into. Because for some reason, I do get the feeling that some of these relationships may have been karmic. So they may have been tough lessons that we were learning. Like, not always sunshine and lollipops, you know? But the beauty in that, and I also say that too because, again, we did have that Mars energy. So there was a lot of fighting. There was a lot of tussling. There was a lot of disagreements. There was a lot of, like, standing your ground, but doing it in a way that wasn't helping either side. Like, both sides were butting heads because both sides were just not trying to hear the other one out. When you release that energy, that's when you're allowing love in. That's when you make the space for love. And I know, like, personally, I have to walk away. Like, if I'm in a space where I feel like I'm upset, I know I need to walk away to get a couple of minutes to, like, remove myself from feeling that energy. Because it can be so intense sometimes. And you have to be soft on yourself. Like, forgive yourself for even the darkest sides of you, for the void, you know? We're not here as perfect beings. If you were, you wouldn't be here. I'm pretty sure of that. Like, from all that I've learned anyway. I can just say love changes lives and love is available to you. You have a community of people out here that you probably haven't even met yet that just can't wait to meet you, love you up, and show you how exciting you are. And what a gift you are to the world as well. We all need that energy around us. And honestly, at the end of the day, I feel like you've been up until now, for the general collective that this resonates with, you've been in an energy that's not yours. You're holding on to something that's not, it was a lesson that was supposed to come and go. So it's like everything has its season, you know, everything has its time. When you learn that lesson, you shouldn't be in that same space that you were in order to learn the lesson. Like, you've already done what you needed to do. So it's time to move on to the next stage. That would be my advice based on this spread. But let's clarify a little bit and see what more other messages we can get from the tarot. One thing I would also suggest too is, I don't know, I believe I've stated it, but reach out to family. Whatever you consider family, it doesn't have to be biological, but reach out to those that lift up your spirit. Be around people that are excited, just as excited as you are to see them, or to share an idea, or to even just watch TV and laugh about it, or whatever it is that you do and that you enjoy. Like, find your friends that love to do it with you. Because, like, in order to increase your vibration, you really have to be in a better state. You can't be taking on negative energy and expecting to, like, all of a sudden transcend it. Like, we absorb it. We're channels. We're channels for energy. And that's what I spoke about in another Four of Cups too. That's what I spoke about in another reading that I had done, was basically like the chakras, understanding like you have energy points in you that absorb your surroundings. And unless you're using, like, you know, different like mental techniques, you could have physical techniques such as like crystals or stones, like things to help you remember or bring you to a place where you can bring yourself out of that darkness or bring yourself out of that negative energy that's around you. But a lot of times that does call for awareness of it as well. Okay, so the first card out for clarifying the cracked open rock bottom is Four of Cups. So the energy that I'm getting from that is that someone didn't want an offer, whether it be you or another person. Someone was rejecting an offer that was given to them because they didn't think it was good enough, basically. They're too worried about the past or stuck on what they shoulda, coulda, woulda, and not seeing the opportunity that was being presented to them. So instead of like, and it's like, even if that's what's going on around you, is you have like a whole bunch of Debbie Downers in your circle, change that energy up. Get around some people that, you know, are going to be uplifting to your spirit. Like I said, go see your family. Go be around people that love you. I understand during Corona it's hard to see folks, but there's always video messaging. There's always a phone call. Write a letter if you have to. I mean, reach out to someone if you're feeling that you're in that state of, like, depression is basically what I'm getting from this. Like, you're hitting rock bottom to the sense that, like, and I see the castle in the background, like, your happiness is, like, so far off, like, it's in a distance, and you got your back turned to all of it, and you're still sitting there thinking about, like, past happiness, or wanting to be happy, but not, I don't know, embracing it. Next card's out is Knight of Cups with the Ace card. Or, I'm sorry, Ace of Swords. What am I saying? The Ace card. Ace of Swords. And that, again, is clarifying for me the cracked open rock bottom. So, this is explaining that there was an offer that came in, or somebody wanted to fight for something, but the truth came out. And in the truth coming out, you started to see that maybe what you were being so emotional about, or what you were putting so much energy into, wasn't for you, or wasn't what you thought it was. It wasn't something even that you wanted to accept for whatever your truth is. So if this has to do with a job, maybe they're asking too much of you, and you know that at the end of the day, they may not even be paying you enough to do what they're asking. I don't see any pentacles in that. We have a lot of cups and a lot of words, like, being exchanged, but no money. So, like, a lot of emotions and feelings, but no money. And if that's the case, I would say know your worth, you know, at the end of the day. If that is in terms of a relationship, you can't make anybody. And I can see even, too, how somebody could try to manipulate the situation to get you to feel bad, because it's like they're trying to present you with small offers, where you know what you're worth. Like, speak up for yourself. Speak up for your truth. And you don't just have to accept anything that's being presented to you, especially if it's somebody else's energy that's negative. Okay, the next cards out we have is Six of Cups, the Hangman, Nine of Swords, and Eight of Cups. And that's to clarify surrender to the sweetness, which was the Venus energy. Pleasure, joy, and make love to life. So, I don't know if I stated it, but I'll state it again. The next cards that were out were the Six of Cups, the Hangman, Knight of Wands, and the Eight of Cups. What I get from this energy is there was someone that you were definitely had a lot of emotions, connection with, someone from your past, possibly someone you have a child with, someone from your childhood, someone you've been with for a long time, 6 years, maybe more. There's someone that was pulling on your heartstrings to the point that it had you stuck in your emotions, had you stuck in not knowing. You were looking for a different perspective, a different enlightenment, a different angle. And then the other sense I get too is, I don't know who this is for, but were you searching for the truth because you feel like they're possibly cheating on you? And maybe you want to walk away? Because the Knight of Cups here, that's like, for me, that's player energy. And Eight of Cups is walking off to find happiness. So with somebody, and maybe that's what you were searching for like your soulmates, like maybe looking through their things, looking for the truth. That's for somebody, I'm not sure who. But that energy just came in. But basically, overall, I see somebody, looking, it's almost like a stuck energy to the extent that you're looking for what makes you happy. You're looking for what brings you back to that childlike passion. Something that's going to be, something that you're going to want to take action on and be passionate towards. And something that you'll actually be willing to walk away from everything else. So if this has to do with like a relationship, going back to like a friendship, for example, you just want to find the happiness in it again. Like, you're willing, you had it at one point, you're looking for a way to get back to the happiness that was once there. And I don't know, it doesn't look like you're gonna stay in the situation that you're currently in if you want to find that happiness. I'm not sure what took place in the past, but it looks like everything that I see so far is pointing towards you need to let go in order to find this happiness. And as I say that, Four of Pentacles, Six of Swords, someone's holding on to something too tightly. And the Four of Pentacles gives me that stability, like the home front even. So it's like maybe you're holding on to an idea of what things should be too tightly. And you need to move on to calmer thoughts or calmer waters. Like if you see on the card, they're currently in this rough current. And then if you see back here, they're looking forward to calmer water. So maybe, again, this is about getting out. And sorry, this is clarifying this card. So this is the Great Severing. And isn't that fitting, right? You're holding on too tightly and you need to let go. And I feel like the reason you're holding on is because it's your stability. It's what you know as your stability. So if this has to do with a career, maybe it is that like your boss they're asking too much of you. You're emotionally drained. You've put in all that you could put in. You're being stretched as far as like your pinnacle can go. And like you've been the worker, the manager, the at call, on call, everything. Like you've been doing your part and then some. And you're still not reaching that calmer, like you still haven't hit that place where you're finding your own mental stability. Because all of that is important, you know, as far, like, it's not just about having physical things here. Like, you have to be mentally sound in order to be happy as well. So, what I gather from this is you're basically holding on to your money and trying to move away from conflict. I mean, as simple as you can put it, right? And I see that's by creating boundaries. Like, stop doing whatever it is that people are telling you need to do in order to feel like, I don't know, you're justifying their ego. I don't know what it would be that would make you want to carry somebody else's, like, bad energy around. But it's a choice. Just remember that you don't have to do it. Okay. Let's clarify the weight of the world, Divine Spirit. One more card, please. Or two. Or three. Okay, so, the weight of the world is boundaries let go. It's not yours to carry. First card out to clarify that is Judgment. Next card out, we have the Seven of Pentacles. King of Cups. And Six of Wands. So, I see you looking into what you've invested into the relationship because it's definitely something that you're very passionate about. Like, if this has to do with, and even if it's with work, like you've invested so much of your time and it's almost to the point where your judgment call is really up to you, because no one else can tell you, like, what your decision's gonna be at the end of the day. It's just the advice I would see is, if you're really passionate about, but the King of Swords represents having, like, sound emotion, like clear, like you're thinking clearly, you're, because it's like you're, and he's holding his own cup there too. But you see the fish in the background? Fish represent abundance. And I even see that from what you've gathered in looking at what you've invested into yourself or your past, or even what your future is going to be. You're going towards victory. Like, this is the soldier returning back from battle, you know? And he is the victorious one. So you're on the right path. It's just that your judgment may be a little clouded because of the fact that you're wanting a reconciliation with this. You want to find some sort of... You're very emotionally tied to whatever this is that you need to release. And that's affecting your judgment, is what I'm getting. I mean, I was looking for another way to try to put it, but, like, I get it. You love them. And, I mean, it may be a water sign. That's Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Judgment is a Scorpio card as well. I don't think we really have any other major arcana or signs. No, we don't. So I actually get a lot of water from this energy, and we do have a lot of cups out on the table. So it's something that is definitely weighing so heavy on your emotions. And I feel like the reason it is because it's a reflection of something in you that you need to heal. And it's something that, like, maybe it's not something that you're used to dealing with all the time. Maybe it's not something that, like... Maybe if it's a person, you've been with them for so long, you just don't see yourself outside of this individual. But the reality is, everybody deserves to be happy. And, like, you're on the right path of being happy. You're a great person. Like, you're even thoughtful enough to be taking on energy that isn't yours, you know? Not so much thoughtful enough, but you're understanding enough. You're empathic enough. You're self-sabotaging is what you're doing. So in order to get out of that way of thinking, get out of that gel that you're setting up for yourself in the way that you're thinking, the prison, the blindfold that you have on, take it off. Because until it seems like there is some... And I'm sorry, that was the Eight of Swords. Until there is some equal give and take with the Six of Pentacles, there's always going to be mental conflict with the Five of Swords. And then the Hermit card is the enlightenment that you wish to seek. And I feel like your enlightenment is what you should be gathering, even from this reading, that you're taking on energy that isn't yours, but the universe is here to balance it out. You do have justice at the bottom of the deck. So whether you see it and want to do something about it, or it's just the general time frame of the season, it's going to be out with the old and in with the new. And I can honestly say, based on this energy, you're fighting it. Not because you want and it's not even like a conflict, but it's like a situation that's causing conflict. It's not that you want the conflict, it's just that you care so much about this person, about this situation. You've invested so much in it, and that's all you sit back and think about at the end of the day. Like, and that's the thoughts that you're creating, and that you're putting that gel around you for thinking that in that sort of way. And as I said, this whole void, or these empathic starseed things in which you might be carrying or picking up may just be thoughts that are not yours. You're absorbing something that's not yours. First card out, and I'm going to take a couple more, but I just had to chuckle really quickly. I love the synchronicity behind doing these readings. It's just amazing. But I don't know if you saw, but it's number 44. So that may be a number that you should look up, or 444. But it says your words create worlds. So watch your words. One more card, yep. And we actually had this in the last reading. But out of the mess comes elegant order. And that's card number 20. Bottom of the deck. How can this be a win-win-win? So that's a great way to look at the situation too. Is to see, like, how can you, and I mean transmute the energy. If you are feeling pain, or if you are in a place where you're feeling like you're absorbing all this dark negative energy, ask how could it help you. Ask, what do you need to learn? Ask, like, the questions that are going to get you to those positive answers or positive outcomes that are going to help you, instead of, like, knock you down into that darker place where you just fill the void, you know? But let me try to look up this very beautiful card we have here. Just a moment. Okay. So, your words create worlds. Your words are the magical spell that that build stories that either serve you or muffle your dreams. What words are you speaking forth into the world at this moment? Listen carefully to those around you. What do you hear? Our language determines what we believe is possible or impossible. Our words truly create worlds. Slow down to bring awareness to what you are truly saying in conversations with others, with yourself internally. Before you try something, are your words about it empowering? Are you already down and defeating? By drawing this card, you are now free from all old stories that you have been told by others, no matter how well-meaning they have been. You are released and free to use language of creation and conception. So, in order to do so, think, what is a personal power phrase that I can tell myself when I feel overwhelmed, scared, or uncertain of what to do next? So that was for that one. And then we had 20 out of the cosmic mess. And clearly I need to hear this one again. Okay. So out of the mess comes elegant order. Everything looks messy in the middle. If you knew that, you would be more allowing of the messes that show up. The universe is always seeking order and novelty at the same time. The novelty creates new ideas, pathways, and variation. The order creates coherence and consistency. Realize the chaos, confusion, and turmoil are exactly what's needed now. Otherwise, Otherwise, you'd come to exactly the same thought that hundreds of others had had before you. Nobody thinks they want a mess, but what if it is necessary to create something bigger and grander? Baking is full of broken eggs and spilled flour, but then the chemical process turns our mess into a delicious cake. I'm making up words here. Don't sweep the mess under the rug. Embrace, acknowledge, and appreciate each one. It is reassuring to know that there is no more breakdowns without breakthroughs. You cannot clean up a mess. It has to be reconceived, transformed, and transcend into an elevated creation. So, in order to do so, ask yourself, what are the ways that I can fully appreciate my biggest so-called mess right now? And again, look for that win-win-win out of the situation. All right, collective. So before we go, I wanted to do one more pull for the collective. This is the Making Magic, Manifesting Your Dream Priestess Moon deck that I have. I want you to ask a question, and I'm going to pull 3 cards for you as the answer. So while I'm shuffling, please think of a question, and we'll get 3 cards pulled for your answer, okay? Think of one question. One question. Once I get 3 cards, I'll tell you what they are. Oh, that was one. Oh, all right. I said 3, so. But underneath the deck is prosperity. Can't keep that to myself. I have to show you that one, right? So that says a prosperous business with riches and success. All right. The first card out we have is fire. So the element of fire heralds new life, renewed passion, and positive transformation. Next card out is the festival. So this says create an energetic blueprint for a fantastic party or event. And the last card out we have is Tree of Life. And that says true wisdom and making good choices in life. So what I gather from this is it looks like you're definitely in the right direction in terms of getting your energy up. As I said, and what you pulled is the festival too. So even if you need to have a party, I would say invite like a fire dancer or something. Spice it up. But you're making great decisions. You're on the right path, and life is hard on everybody. So don't forget you're loved and you're beautiful, and you'll figure it out, you know? There are no wrong decisions. We're just going to learn the lessons one way or the other. So some of us take a little bit longer to get there, and there's nothing wrong with that. Right? Well, thank you very much, collective, for your time. And I hope you've enjoyed my, I made it myself, but it's my crown that I made out of bird feathers that I've collected all over the place. But please feel free to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Comment on the video if you liked it or enjoyed it or have any questions for me. Other than that, we are getting closer to the new year. I'm not sure if I will publish another video before the new year is out or up or here or however you want to say that. So I wish you a beautiful New Year's Eve and a prosperous new year. And thank you very, very much for your time. Bye.